Alright everyone, welcome back. I don't know what's going on with The Division and Season 11 here. I thought as I had a busy Monday and spent the weekend with my family, as I do with every weekend, after work today I would spend a good couple of hours in the Title Update 17 PTS, see what's going on. But I can't. And neither can anyone else. And I'm a little bit concerned about what Massive are doing here. So let's take a look at what's happened. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Massive have confirmed today the TU17 PTS has come to a close. Now here's what they had to say. This was on Twitter, of course. The Season 11 PTS is now closed. We greatly appreciate your feedback and suggestions. Now this came out of nowhere. If you have a read through the comments, this has come as a huge shock and surprise for everyone. I didn't actually believe it when it kind of flashed up on my phone. I just thought there's just no way. There was no prior notice, and the PTS, it only went live on Friday. So we basically had 4 days. Now I had thought that when I saw this tweet that perhaps Massive decided to pull Phase 1 down and implement some changes that they'd got or feedback that they'd got for Phase 2. But following a further tweet from Morten Ryberg, that is not the case. He said, there will not be a Phase 2 of the Season 11 PTS. Now this is very, very odd. If my memory serves me well, I don't ever remember a time when we only had one phase of a PTS and one cut short at that. So, what is going on? Well, to be honest, I don't know. But I can speculate, and please feel free to add your own speculation down in the comments below. So firstly, I think that perhaps Year 5 Season 1 is on track, and they have a date in mind for that to be released, meaning they need Season 11 to start and finish by a certain date. They basically cut the PTS short because Season 11 will be going live soon. Now that date we don't yet know, but I suspect it's going to be quite soon. Now if you do want to take a positive spin on this, maybe Massive have everything that they need and they are happy they can release Season 11, no issues really whatsoever. Now I find this highly unlikely, to be honest. I suspect most people were not able to play the PTS over the weekend, and like me, they can only really play in the week. That's an assumption, of course. I don't know that for true, but what this would mean is that there has probably been very little feedback at this stage. You've only got to see the fact that it's only been 4 days. I don't think that's nearly enough time for the community to find all of the potential issues and all the balancing problems that they might have and provide that feedback. Plus, without a Phase 2, how do we know that Massive have made the right changes in terms of balancing and issues and whatnot? We know that Massive are making some changes to the Jammer Pulse following, a lot of negative feedback. But what are those changes? And what other changes are Massive making? We just don't know. And now the community will not have a chance to test them either until the content drops. This is a major concern for me. And I hate to take a negative spin on this, but there's a reason why we've always had at least 2 PTS phases. Sometimes we've had 3 phases, and I think at one point we had as much as 4 phases. It just makes sense to get feedback from the community, implement changes, get it retested. And of course, if it needs to be changed again, you do that, get it retested. Otherwise, you run the risk of releasing content with many issues and broken balancing issues as well. And Massive don't exactly have the best history of implementing changes that actually work. The most recent example being the shrapnel trap, which I believe took, 3 passes before finally being fixed in this PTS, I assume. And again, I don't know if it's been fixed in this PTS. I've not been able to test it myself. Not that it's something that I would probably test, but I've not seen anyone else really cover it. Certainly not on the forums. There may be a YouTube video out there, I'm not sure. But I'm going to assume that it's been fixed in this PTS. It's taken 3 phases. Let's not forget, this PTS was testing most things coming to Season 11. So it's not just a couple of balancing changes. It's not just some little PvP changes here and there, which is what people thought this was going to be. There's new gear, there's new exotics, and there's a lot more. Just heading over to the Ubisoft forums for a second, and you will see some pretty hefty feedback threads on so many things, like the new hotshot gear set and the new exotic sniper rifle. There is no way that Massive are going to have the time to implement the vast majority of feedback with a new live stream for Season 11 on the horizon, as confirmed by Morton as well, saying, "We are getting a lot of questions regarding Season 11. Please tune in on our live stream to get all the info. Timing of the stream will be revealed on the Division Twitter page." Now, this special report, which I believe we got for Season 10 as well, and I believe probably Season 9, is of course something that I'm looking forward to. And I suspect this will probably go live, I'm going to say next week, with Season 11 not much longer after that point. I'm excited to see where the story is going with Season 11, and of course, I'm excited to test and use the Ninja Bike backpack, the new gear, exotics, all of that stuff, because I've not been able to test it myself. But how much feedback will Massive be able to address in a couple of weeks? It may be less than a couple of weeks. I suspect the jammer pulse change will be reverted, and I suspect there will be some bug fixes, but I'm not expecting really any kind of balancing changes to make it to Season 11. Instead, what I think is going to happen is we're going to get the content that's going to go live probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, and then give it another couple of weeks, maybe 2 to 4 weeks after that point, we're going to get TU 17.1, and that will deliver more balancing changes, and then we'll probably get TU 17.2, TU 17.3. So what I think Massive have decided to do is, because they need to fit Season 11 within a certain period of time, because of Year 5 and Season 1 having kind of almost like a definitive date, I think they're going to take this opportunity to release Season 11 and then just give us all of those balancing changes and that feedback from the whole community, and implement those over smaller title updates within the season 11. That's what I think they're going to do. I know they've kind of done that before, but not really, because obviously as before we've had at least 2 phases of PTS. I could be way off on this, guys. This is something that we've never seen before, so I really don't know, and I am speculating on this a ton. This is just my opinion. Now, I do hope I'm wrong and Massive are able to deliver on the feedback given, but with only 4 days of PTS feedback and very little time before Season 11 will go live, I assume. I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming it's going to go live soon. I am worried. And I'll try and remain positive, because I do think there's some great stuff coming with Season 11. But I hope any balancing issues that have not been addressed don't kind of overshadow this new season and the last season for Year 4, because that will be a real shame. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. As I said, leave your comments down below. What do you think's going on over there at Massive? Do you think 4 days of a PTS is enough? I'd be very surprised if any of you think that 4 days is enough for a PTS, because to me, even sometimes 2 weeks is sometimes nearly not enough. Normally you need at least 3 or 4 weeks to really iron stuff out, especially when you consider this is PC only, guys. There's no... So even more time needs to be put into it, because console players aren't having a chance, and there's probably a limited amount of players actually being able to take part in this PTS. But as I said, leave your comments down below. Until the next one, Epic out.